Hello everyone, Courtney Conover here, coming to you from the top of my children's clubhouse in our backyard. I prefer to use natural light for all of my videos, and I usually shoot them literally on my yoga mat, sitting on my yoga mat in either my front or backyard. But because of the torrential rains yesterday, our grass is still wet, so here I am. This is a perfect backdrop. Kids are at school, so it works out. Anyhow, thank you for joining me today, and on topic today is what is heat damage. So if you've been following me for a while, you've heard me drop the phrase heat damage here and there. Heat damage, heat damage, heat damage. That was the culprit. That was the cause, essentially, of my transition into natural hair when I started in November 2005. So let me just start by explaining to you what exactly heat damage is. So heat damage occurs when the cuticles of your hair shaft, so like let's pretend my finger is a strand of hair, when the outside layer of your hair has been damaged, irreversibly damaged by heat. So by heat, I mean direct heat, like flat irons, blow drying, those kinds of high heat, high intensity appliances wreak havoc on the hair. So the best way I can describe it is, you've seen those phone cords, right? Those spirally phone cords that we all had in our houses in the 70s and 80s. If you keep pulling it, and you keep pulling it, and you keep pulling it, let's say you had the phone in the kitchen and you wanted some privacy, and you went around to, the hallway or something, and you stretched that cord repeatedly every night during 2 and 3 and 4 hour conversations, right? Over time, that phone cord is not going to snap back. It's not going to be spiral anymore. It's going to be maybe a little bit spiral, a little bit straight. Might be in some parts totally straight. That's essentially a model for what happens to your hair when it is a victim of heat damage. Let me go back to how I determined or how I discovered my hair was heat damaged, because here's the thing. I had very long hair. If you go back to, I'm going to plug right now my website, CourtneyConover.com. I'm just going to tell you why I don't put all of the pictures, I don't edit them in my videos. Because if you're like me, I like to study those videos. If I watch YouTube or something and people have videos, I will study the pictures. And so what I'll have to do is stop the video, take a screenshot, and then edit it out, and then so what I'm going to do is I'm going to post all of the pictures that correspond to this vlog on CourtneyConover.com, and you will be able to see and study and look precisely at each picture without worrying that it's only going to be on the screen for a couple seconds and then fade off. So if you've followed me at all, if you know my background at all, you'll know that I had near waist length hair, very long hair. I was addicted to my flat iron. I was addicted to straightening my hair. So bone straight was the only way for me to go. This is obviously my natural hair texture and curl pattern. I do not have straight hair in the slightest, but it was my life's mission to make it as straight as possible. So I lived by the flat iron. I had it plugged up and ready to go at 450 degrees all the time. The slightest hint of a rain cloud or uptick in humidity, I was straightening the heck out of my hair. I was very lucky that my hair didn't break off. I used heat protectants and things of that nature, and I think just my hair is pretty strong anyway, so I didn't get a lot of breakage, next to none. However, my hair was very, very, very damaged, and that's an understatement. It was extremely damaged, and I didn't know it until I went to try to wear it curly, because my hair is still growing, right? It's still long. I'm thinking, oh, my hair is healthy. I was actually under the delusion at one point that, because, the longer your hair gets, the heavier it gets. I was thinking, oh, wow, my hair must be so heavy that it weighs so much now that it's actually straightening out on its own, and, it's pulling the curls, it's elongating the curls. I was under the delusion that that was why my hair would be straighter when I was washing it. No, it was damaged. I didn't understand it. I did not understand this until I went to until I made the switch, or at least attempted to make the switch to make my hair curly. Okay. So again, I had no idea. So let me take it back to, again, first week of November 2015. I had made the switch, and I had this in other videos as to why I made the switch. Again, this was for my daughter, for her to help her appreciate her curls, to love her curls that are almost identical to mine. So I decided, no more flat ironing, no more blow drying. I'm going to go curly. So I washed my hair. conditioned and all that stuff, had watched several YouTube tutorials, had all my products, was ready to go. I get out of the shower, and it's like, it was like shock. If I take myself back to that moment now, like the pit feeling in my stomach, it was, I can't even describe it. My hair was just all jacked up. And somebody would look at me and say, some people actually, the next day I wore it and it was like half straight, a little bit of wave. I mean, there was none of this curl. Okay, there was some, a little bit. If you squint, you can see some curl. And some people actually said, "Oh, I like your hair curly." What they didn't understand though is that was not really my real curl. That was damaged curl. It was like, if you look at it, there was no pattern. It was misshapen. It was brittle to the touch. So again, my hair was curly, but it wasn't like this. So if you didn't know that this was my hair texture, I mean, it still looked damaged, don't get me wrong. But for those of you who are experiencing heat damage, you know what I'm talking about. Your hair might still be curly in spots. It's just not what it was intended to be, okay? So when you think about it, though, that is what should happen, right? When you apply flat irons, and you think about what it takes sometimes, depending on how curly and the thickness of your hair, the texture of your hair, even if you have thin, relatively straight hair, what your hair goes through with a blowout, right? You've got this brush and you're like straightening out, and the bowl dryer is flaring. You see vapors and heat sometimes. And you think about it, like it makes totally sense that scientifically you are permanently altering the state of your hair. But here's the bad part about it. There's nothing you can do about it. So there is no product, there's no conditioner, there is no mask, there is no stylist who can bring those curls back. Once that hair shaft is damaged, there is nothing you can do about it. And every once in a while, you'll still hear some stylist or somebody say, "Oh, if you use this, it'll bring my curls back to life." If there is a difference, it is so short-lived. There's nothing that you can do to replace that broken hair cuticle. The only remedy is to cut it off, start again, which is daunting for a lot of people. I could not fathom doing a big chop. There was no way I could fathom doing a big chop. It was hard enough to transition. But again, to each his own. I look at people on Instagram that do the big chop, and I'm like, I mean, I don't think it's bad. I just personally could not have done it, but I give kudos and hats off to all the women who have rocked it, and most of them I've seen rock it extremely well. So I'm an advocate of whatever works well for you. If you want to transition slowly and you hold on to those heat damaged ends like I did, and I looked a hot mess. I couldn't get rid of the length, though I had long hair all my life. Like, I just could not fathom. It was enough of a transition just to decide to go curly and never straighten my hair again. That was a big pill to swallow. It was good. It's something I wanted to do, but nonetheless, it was still very difficult. But to say that I was going to let go of all my hair at the same time, I just could not have done that. But there is no bringing that back. There's no bringing that damaged hair back. So what I ended up doing was, over time, so I started my transition the first week of November 2015. I slowly cut. And I had, by April 1st of this year, 2017, I was 100% natural like this. But here's the thing that I want to talk to you about specifically for those of you like me who are not ready to big chop, and you are in the state of transition, and you've committed to your transition, and you're going to cut it off slowly over time at a rate that you can stomach, right? But you still have this damaged hair. There's no bringing it back. There's no bringing that curl back. Here's what I recommend to you that no one told me, that I would really, really, really suggest that transitioners heed this advice. Start your good habits during your transition. And what I mean by that is this. There are certain products, and I'll get into this in other videos, but there are certain products, you want to use the best products for your hair. For curly hair, I'm going to tell you right now, no silicone, no heavy oils, definitely no alcohols. Anything that's going to dry your hair out, I'd say no bueno. Avoid like crazy. Some people, there's a difference of opinion sometimes when it comes to silicones. Some people feel that they have healthy hair and they still use products with silicones in them. My only advice to you, though, is if you do use silicones, you have to make sure at every wash that you use a shampoo that's strong enough to remove those silicones so that your moisture can get back in before you put on the silicones again. Because if you just keep putting silicone on, silicone on, silicone on, silicone on, and washing your hair, whether it's co-washing or washing with a mild, gentle cleanser, your moisture is not getting in there. Because it's almost like putting wrapping your arm in saran wrap and then dunking it in water and saying that you're washing your arm. You're not. The water is not even penetrating your arm because you've got that saran wrap on. That's essentially what silicones do. But there's some people that still say that they love products with silicones. Again, I'm not judging. I'm just saying to you that you have to make sure that you eventually somehow get that moisture in there, and regularly, because curly hair thrives on moisture. When you think about it, when you had straight hair, right, when you had your blowouts and your hair was sleek and straight, what was the thing that you avoided? Water, because water makes your hair curl. It's in the reverse now. So when you go curly, you actually need that moisture to keep your curls healthy. So my suggestion to you is, if you're transitioning from a heat-damaged head of hair, start your good habits now. Again, there's no product that you can use that will bring your curls back. Trust me, if there was, I would have found it. I kicked over many rocks and tried everything, knowing in my heart that it wasn't going to work, but I was so desperate. But please start using a good quality conditioner and cleanser and products and, alcohol-free gel while your hair is damaged until you can cut it off and grow out your new. And the reason is because you can kind of start those good habits early. Treat that damaged hair like it's healthy hair, so that when you do have that healthy hair, it's not like you have to find a whole new mix of products. And whether you use the silicones and all that on bad hair, it might be a slight improvement, not enough really to me to justify using that kind of product. Just go clean, go good. Again, no alcohols, none of that stuff. So you really want to start looking at the back of your products when you buy them. So you just can't go by the pretty packaging, or you just can't go by, the woman on the cover or the box or whatever, or the jar. I mean, I can't stress enough. The first thing I do when I buy a product, I turn it around and I look at the ingredients. So I'm going to include, again, a link to CourtneyConover.com. Attached to this somewhere, like in the description of this vlog, so that you can see my personal pictures of my heat damaged hair. And then I will also try to include in that a little more of a summary of what I discussed about the product, or the ingredients to avoid and whatnot. But I just wanted to give people an overview. I know this is going kind of long, almost 13 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up. But I just wanted to give you an overview of what heat damage is, because I think, at least for me, I had no idea until I was forced to know, until I went to a stylist and said, hey, this is really weird because I've got this curly hair. My daughter, I'd show them a picture of my daughter Kennedy, whose hair has never been straightened, most gorgeous head of luscious curly hair ever. So I showed the stylist this picture of my daughter and I said, why doesn't my hair look like this? And I explained to her what I did, and I remember the moment I was in her chair and she told me there's no going back. I about died. I drove home from that salon like shell-shocked. Like, this was not what I had anticipated when I decided to go natural a week prior. Like, I didn't know that a week later I'd be forced to go natural with, damaged hair. But it happens to the best of us. I mean, for those of you who you might be transitioning from a relaxer. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but with patience, you can do it. Hang in there. Just keep your eye on the prize, and just know that while you're sleeping, eating, going to work, helping with the kids' homework, doing all the stuff that you do in your life, all of it, even while sleeping, your hair is growing. Maybe not at the rate that you want it to, but it's growing. It's getting longer. And each day is an opportunity to treat the existing hair that you have like the hair you will eventually have. So start those good habits now. Trim when you can. I know it's hard to get rid of the length, but just trim when you can. Just trim a little bit. Every time you feel that you're comfortable with it, take the slightest bit off. I'm living proof that you can do it. It didn't take that long. This is, again, I started in November 2015, and today it is almost October. So I'm almost 2 years in, with a considerable amount of length. My hair looks a lot shorter than what it is, but it's well past bra strap length. That's the thing about curly hair, is that it has to grow longer so that because our curls go like this as opposed to hair growing straight down. So this is how I do my length checks from now on. I just pull and I just like measure and take note. I don't straighten my hair. I have not straightened my hair since I've decided this journey. And that's the one last thing I want to tell you about heat damage. Well, people can say, well, maybe about to straighten my hair once a week, right? You never know when that one time is going to damage your hair. You really don't. In my case, I was flat ironing all the time, so heck, I had heat damaged hair from I don't know how long because I was so incessant about straightening my hair. But it's almost like playing Russian roulette. If you straighten twice a week, I don't know. One time you could do it and your curls might not bounce back. I've seen those horror stories. If you search for them on Instagram, you will find them. A woman that, well, I wanted to wear my hair straight. I hadn't done it in a while, and I was thinking, I just do it once. And when she went to go curly again, no joke, curl, 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 and then there was literally a piece of her hair like this that was stick straight, and then curl, curl, curl. I mean, just straighten at your own risk. I say don't do it. I know it's hard for people to commit and say never straighten your hair again. Basically, that's what the only way to 100% be certain that you're not going to be a victim of heat damage is to not straighten your hair. But oh my God, your curls will thank you for it. Your curls will thank you for it. So yeah, it's like, I don't know. You've got to make the decision, whatever works for you. But again, I am grateful that you took this moment to view this video. Again, check out CourtneyConover.com for all of the pictures that correspond with this vlog. Join me on our Facebook group, Courtney Conover's Naturally Curly Love Lounge, which is also linked in this description box as well. So if you have comments on this video, you can place them below, but I'd much prefer for you to go to the Facebook group. That way other people can read your question. They can also read my response, and other people who are in the group might have a different perspective from me that works for them, that will help you even better than what I said. So that's why I kind of I'll post this vlog on YouTube, on CourtneyConover.com, and on the Facebook group. But I would prefer for everyone to just use the Facebook group as the forum, because with curly hair, we're all so different. There could be 3 or 4 different shapes of curls on one head. So it's very much appreciated to hear the perspective of other curly girls, which can help you out tremendously. Okay, that's it. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.